So Whitney Bolster is a founder and co-chief creative director at Ampersand, a woman-run design studio based in Atlanta. Over the past 7 years, she has led over 120 brand identities, including the narrative methods, forthcoming, rebrand, and wait till you see our new logo that both Dana and Micah are sporting on their arms. I shouldn't even say that. Oh, wait, take off your clothes. All right, later on. Also specializing in branding, packaging, core messaging, digital marketing, web development, and design. Ampersand meets their clients at the intersection of creativity, strategy, and human connection, and we can attest to the human part. Often referred to as brand therapist, Whitney's work can be found in Target, Walmart, Wegmans, Walgreens, Forbes, Variety, and Gwyneth Paltrow's bathroom. Prior to her career in the creative industry, Whitney spent 8 years as a high school English teacher in rural Alabama, where she fostered her own writing life alongside her students. So I will now share my screen and we will get started. Okay, I don't know why I keep saying that. Oh, we're not sharing my screen yet. Whitney, share your screen. Oh my God. Can we
Share
hear you?
my
No, share
screen.
yourself, your screen yourself. I don't know why my words are word salad today, but so happy to see you. And, you know, one of the things that we've talked about, because you have been a creative therapist in the way that you help people identify what they're trying to communicate to their audiences. And in doing that, you throw yourself entirely into someone else's position. You put yourself aside. What does that do? And how do you keep your own personal art intact?
Yeah, it's a big question.
I know.
One thing that I think, as an English teacher and as a creative director, a big part of that is, as you said, immersing yourself in your client's reality, and also trying to understand how they will occur for the world to the world around them, right? If it's a high school student, it's helping them see that the simplest stories can often be the most beautiful and the most connecting, and helping them overcome everybody's image of them when they share in front of their peers. For a brand, it's about helping them figure out what will the point of connection be, for what you offer to the consumer and the consumer's everyday life. So in a lot of ways, Ampersand story shares the narrative methods mission and belief that our stories connect us more deeply to each other, to ourselves, and then we would extend that to say, and to the brands that we love. So one thing that has been probably the thing that has been my biggest focus this year is um, trying to reconcile the deep burnout that I was experiencing at the end of 2022. I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis in November, which is a very painful and chronic illness brought on by stress. Um, and, we can't heal in the environments that made us sick. And so this became a point of focus for me. I am creative. I spend every day working with other creatives, working with clients where often the work that we're doing together is perceived as the most fun or the most invigorating, the most self-honoring. And yet I feel like I'm not writing, I'm not moving my body, I'm sick, I'm uninspired. Um, I'm also a mom, so like I have no time.
You got
And
over that
really,
before you started working with us, though, right?
oh yeah, for sure. So earlier this year, as soon as spring started to pop, I started walking. And just through walking, it's 3 miles to my studio and 3 miles back, and it cultivated this sense of gratitude for
Uh-huh.
my body and for my ability to feel better, to heal, to recognize that I could feel the illness in some of my joints, but that I still was able to express myself physically in that way. And through the walking, I started writing again, and I began to realize that I had been tricking myself. And many agencies trick themselves and their employees with these overhyped missions about how much they value creatives, and, you know, how like we're here to do all of these really insane, wonderful things for our clients, for the world's biggest brands. But I think the piece that we collectively as an industry space are missing is that your work cannot be your art, and vice versa. There's something that selling the thing, especially when you're in the act of creation, right? It's one thing to create something that is self-honoring and true, and then sell it, or somebody's attracted to it and wants to buy it. And it's another thing to be selling something as you're creating it. And so I have 8 people on my team, and many of them are very young. And I do want them to feel inspired by the work, but our collective work is better. It feels better, and it resonates more with our clients when they have some sort of artistic pursuit. That is, I often encourage them to try to do something unserious, something that maybe you're terrible at. For me, it's watercolor. I enjoy pigment. I enjoy that it's not linear. It's not words. It's not something that I can perfect. It is an imperfect medium. And so, you know, I think that arriving at that realization that I needed to spend time with myself every day. And then about when we started working with y'all, we actually collected this portfolio or roster of clients started to come to us that resonated more truly with who I already am, which makes that creative process more authentic on our side as well.
That's so cool.
Because, yeah.
I mean, I'll tell you something. I think the inclination to liberate yourself from all of that tension by doing something creative that you're not good at is brilliant. So, for instance, if you're a filmmaker, you can never watch a film and just watch it like, oh, you're taking it in. Not necessarily good or bad, but you can't help but be critical. So if there's something you are nowhere in the league for, like me, I'm that way in all, fine arts. I'm very unfine, but I enjoy it. It's also a way for your brain to see, oh, wow, there's this other thing that's interesting. It doesn't always have to be about being excellent. And I think that's a really good liberation. So thank you for what you've shared. We definitely want to talk with you again later. But at this time, I'm going to show everyone the prompt.